welcome back to Gear Check Games. This is episode 2 of our Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes playthrough. Last time we got introduced to Snake Support Squad. We avoided getting one of the most broken early game items, and now we're just going to go straight into it.
Intentionally, of course.
Yeah,
Yes, Snake, surveillance camera.
Wow.
and as surveillance cameras are one to do, it has surveyed you. So now we're under attack. It looks like Trey is just like
I
thoroughly enjoying this.
I wanted a more perfect run.
All right, that's it. That's our playthrough. We see it.
Yeah.
Join us for Gran Turismo 3 next time.
Thank y'all for coming down to the Gear Check Games in the Castrol 5000, brought to you by Chevrolet, Ford, and Hyundai, Honda, BMW.
Camel's just like, I thought he would at least try not to get seen.
Yeah.
See, Trey here was just taking an opportunity to show off the game over screen because obviously we'll never have another opportunity to see it again for the rest of the playthrough.
Yeah, good job knocking that out early, Trey. That was a good move.
Yeah. Well, I had to show off the inferior game over screen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like with many things in Twin Snakes, and in my opinion, it kind of seems like they changed it to something less iconic and memorable for, like, no reason. Oh, he saw you. Yeah, so in MGS1, basically the way the stealth worked is that the guards are completely deaf, and they can only see you if you're inside their little vision cone on the Soliton radar. But in MGS2, they made a very important change where the guards can still... It won't trigger an alert phase, but they can still spot you if you're, like, a few feet in front of their vision cone.
Yeah. What kills me is, like you said, like, the guards are deaf. So, like, I fire the SOCOM, like, I don't know, 20, 30 feet away from that guard that's just chilling over there, and he doesn't hear it. He doesn't come over here.
Well,
man.
I mean, the guards...
This game gets...
The guard must have been out of range, because they can hear gunfire if you shoot a weapon that doesn't have a suppressor equipped. But as far as, like, footsteps go, you can just run up behind a guard and, like, choke them or hold them up.
Yeah. Thankfully, they make that a little more realistic in, like, 3 and beyond.
Yeah, in 3 they actually changed the function of the D-pad to, like, exclusively tiptoeing. Because if you try to run up behind a guard in that game and you don't, like, grab them immediately, well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you will get caught in that game. So eventually they figured it out.
It's cold.
So here's one of the first recording snafus. The rest, I told the guys this earlier, but I'm gonna reiterate. My capture card is great, but sometimes in dark areas it just doesn't like to render stuff. So anytime we go into a dark vent in this game, you're basically seeing it how it should be and not how the game portrays it.
Yeah, so this is more lifelike than the actual game. Like, we've done it again. Another masterclass of Let's Playing from GCG.
I thought you were gonna.
No wonder Snake needed rats to find his way.
I thought it was gonna be black and it was just gonna fade in. Oh, stranger, you're finally awake. Trying to cross the border.
Oh no. Would he be a Nord since he lives in Alaska?
Now,
would he be a...
What Trey didn't showcase back there is that you can actually enter the tank hangar via 2 different air ducts. There's one on the ground level and one on the upper level if you take the stairs, but that one's a little more heavily guarded because you gotta get past a surveillance camera and guard that's a little trickier to avoid.
Yeah, how do you get up there? Is there like a ladder?
There's a staircase on the right, and that'll actually take you to the second level of the tank hangar, where there are some items. So I like to go that route if I can manage it, just because it's a little more efficient to start at the top and then work your way to the elevator. Whereas if you go through the bottom duct, you're going to have to go through the first floor and then go through the second floor twice. First, one time to get to the end, and then you have to backtrack, obviously. So
Surely I will be as efficient as possible when I get in the tank hangar room.
Sorry to talk over the introduction of McDonald's Miller, but
Oh yeah, he tells you about the mice. He's like, those are Alaskan field mice, Snake. That's one of the weirdest things in this game. He's like not even caring about the mission. He's just like, I'm gonna show you how to survive.
yeah.
What a bro.
Where were
that's
you during
kinda-
MGS3?
That's some interesting dialogue, knowing some stuff later.
Yeah.
Thanks for the tips, Ronald McDonald Miller.
That reminds me of in MGS3 when they introduced the boss over the radio, and she has this very long and obvious speech. If you've played the game, where she's like, "Listen, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side now doesn't mean they always will be. Wink, wink."
I'll never betray you, Jack. Not ever.
Just trying to mentally prepare you in case someone who's very close to you decides to betray you
Yeah.
for no particular reason.
Like
Isn't
Zero.
Isn't Snake like the only one in that game who like is out of the loop of what her actual mission is there?
Dude, that
Like, what
Snake
gets-
is always out of the loop. Well, okay, in this game and in 3 he is. In the other games, they have a little more like a reverence for his status as a hero, I guess. And people tell him things.
One of the God.
Whoa!
So this is not a deathless run.
Like,
Well-
let the murdering begin, I guess.
There goes that big boss rating.
Yeah.
Oops.
So starting with Metal Gear Solid 2, thankfully for my purposes, they introduced non-lethal variants of weapons beyond like the stun grenade. You know, they give you the tranquilizer pistol, there's a tranquilizer sniper rifle, and then in MGS3 they just added all kinds of fun non-lethal options, like little like fake cigarettes that shoot like sleeping gas. There's a handkerchief you can use for like grabbing people without like strangling them. And then in MGS4 they added like the oil drum that you can roll around in, which is just the best
Dude.
thing.
Yeah, I love the oil drum. It's so much fun to like make Snake sick with that.
So yeah, because of these things and because they're actually fun to use, when I play Metal Gear, I usually try to play non-lethally, with the exception of the original game where it's just, you know, the bosses you have to kill because they only have like a health bar and not a stamina bar. But it's just kind of a pain. Because the only way to do a non-lethal run of MGS1 is just to avoid the guards, basically.
Yeah. I don't know how
there's
he
still
saw
like
me.
forced combat sections where you have to kill people.
Yeah, every good Metal Gear has to have its customary forced combat section.
Yeah.
And, folks, whenever that rolls around, Uncle Joe starts to roll his eyes.
I think there'll be a forced combat section at the end of this episode, and there's an infamous elevator we'll run into later.
Yeah. Yeah, for my money, I love Metal Gear Solid as a stealth game. I think the stealth mechanics are really fun and just, well, really fun. There's not much more to it than that.
Yeah.
But as an action game, I find it to be kind of clunky and not super fun. So I always get kind of annoyed when the story dictates like, oh no, you get ambushed by a bunch of guys and now you just have to fight and you have to shoot a bunch of people. It's like, yeah, but I'm not having to fight people because I wanted, or like I screwed up and now I have to like pay for it. I'm fighting people because the story dictated that we're gonna have a fight here. I don't know, it just feels kind of annoying. But
Well, and I'll say this, the stealth mechanics and the sneaky mechanics are way better than the combat. The combat is just like, it's clunky. Like, especially like with some of the weapons they give you. Like, here's a fully automatic, like, I try aiming it, I guess?
yeah. Well, until MGS4, you couldn't move while aiming in first person, apart from your little, like, shifting to the left and right thing with the triggers.
So that call about the ladder, I like to think that Snake went up there and was like, shit, I don't know how to climb a ladder.
Colonel, I don't know how to get down. Help. Send help.
He's like, he's like 2 steps up, and he's like, ah!
Yeah. That's our Snake. You know, he's a legendary hero and all, but everybody's got their Achilles heel.
It's like a Claptrap in the Borderlands series. He can't go upstairs.
Oh, Trey, are you gonna spy on Johnny? Oh no, that's not Johnny. You? That's Meryl.
Yeah, why would Johnny be in prison?
Meryl. He probably accidentally locked himself in it.
Isn't there a vent you can find where Johnny's like using the bathroom?
I think that's later in the game.
Meryl, are you blind?
No, it's there was a vent on the ground. There was a vent on the ground I could have taken that would have taken me over by the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's an extra. Yeah, there's an extra ration over there, but I wasn't about to make you guys suffer through like more pitch black tunnels than you have to. I was so mad because like when I played it without the capture card, it was just fine on the TV. But the computer's like, nah, man, that's dark now.
This footage is far too good for my standards. Let's knock it down a few notches. So are you guys ready for our first big exposition dump of the playthrough?
Oh, yeah. This is where we learn about MUF and nuclear waste.
No, that's with the arms tech president, isn't it?
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, because he's... Well, a little bit of spoilers. He knows a bit more about what's going on than this guy does.
What's your outfit? What's wrong with my outfit?
I know what this outfit needs.
It's quite
legs.
warm and comfortable.
Oh yeah, I love this because he's like so concerned about the key cards, and you're like, "What are the key cards? I don't know anything about that."
Also, if you're playing Twin Snakes or watching this playthrough, do not look at the back of the DARPA chief's hairline.
The terrorists are threatening the White House.
Especially when he like turns his head because it looks so weird.
Does it clip like really poorly?
Well, just okay. Do look at it because I can't even explain it.
Oh, does his neck like go into that shirt? Oh, I mean, like...
No, there's no clipping. It's just the way that his hair texture is mapped to the back of his neck just looks really bizarre. Like, it goes too far down on his neck, and, like, every time he turns his head, it kind of stretches with him.
Does he have, like, a weird mullet mohawk thing?
Sorta, yeah. Mullet mohawk sounds like a Foxhound member.
It does. Ooh, that was good audio mixing with the transition.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that when I was playing.
Yeah, these games always did have high production values for their time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, isn't the joke, like, Kojima wanted to make movies,
but he settled for games?
Yeah, so, like, he just made movies in video games.
Basically. But the one thing nobody ever told Kojima is that movies typically don't have, like, lengthy scenes of characters just explaining the plot to each other.
Yeah.
Which, I feel like the way the cutscenes play out in Metal Gear kind of works for the format of a video game where, like, you might play for an hour or two each night. And so, within those play sessions, you'll only get, like, 1 or 2 big cutscenes. Whereas, if you marathon one of these games, it can be really exhausting to sit through, like, this much exposition.
Especially games like 3 and 4 that have really long cutscenes.
I would say
3 less.
I would say 2 and 4, honestly. Because, like, 3 has a lot of cutscenes at the start and at the end. But for the bulk of the midsection of that game, like, basically all you really have to deal with are boss introductions and, like, the occasional little meetup with, like, Vulcan and his gang. Or just like, Snake killed some more cobras. Damn.
Vulcan and his band of goons.
Uh-huh. His gang of bullies.
Yeah, the middle of that game really is just, like... It's, like, monster of the week in the middle of it, and plot on the other 2 ends.
God, I love MGS3.
Well, this is MGS1.
This game's
this
alright,
is... Yeah. It's the... Okay, it's not the first, but it's the first 3D one.
Oh, are you ready for... I would say this is the first instance of Twin Snake's shenanigans in the cutscenes here. Because in the original game, all Snake did was, like, step to the side where, like, the guard can't see him through the little eye hole. But
Don't
in
tell me
Twin
he does
Snakes...
a Sam Fisher move.
Well... I'll let you decide what this is.
Oh, what? Okay, that's less Sam Fisher and more just Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Episode 2, Spider-Man!
Yeah, Snake is quite a bit more acrobatic in Twin Snakes than he was in MGS1.
Oh, man. That's not even the last of the crazy acrobatics. It gets worse or better, depending on your outlook.
Depending on whether you're a negative Nelly or not, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is where you learn that, like, they've got the president of Arms Tech just, like, chilling in the basement.
Gee, Arms Tech, I wonder what they sell.
They sell
Prosthetic
Min Min
arms.
now for Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, we have to in the next game we have to stop Metal Gear Min Min from destroying the world.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Instead of, like, we'll see what the Metal Gears are later, but can you imagine just, like, military-grade mechs just being replaced with Rock'em Sock'em robots with really stretchy arms?
I mean, have you played the Ray boss fight in MGS4?
Yeah.
It's like the most epic game of Rock'em Sock'em robots you'll ever see.
Yeah. I am a little sad we don't get to be in one in this game. It's like every fight in this game is incredibly grounded. Like, you feel like such a gnat compared to all the things you fight in this game.
Oh yeah. This is, well, again, I haven't played the original Metal Gear games, but the boss fights in this series really do cement Solid Snake or just like the protagonists of these games as like superhuman. Well, not necessarily superhuman, but just.
So where are the card keys? Baker should have them.
Metal Gear 2 had, like, it had Frank Yeager, it had, like, an astronaut guy, some other kind of coolish bosses for the time. And Metal Gear 1 had such memorable mainstays as Shotgunner and, like, Two Gun Tony or whatever his name was.
Gun Tony!
Better watch out for Two Gun Tony. He'll get you. He'll get you good.
Was that a translation error, or is
I
that
don't
just
know,
the name?
but their names were literally just, like, what kind of gun they use with, like, some kind of spin on it.
It's
They
Jerry
should
the
have had you
Gun
fight Tommy
Guy.
Gunn from Rocky 5.
Actually, one of them might have been Tommy Gunn.
Oh, Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my god.
Oh, right, I also forgot. In one of the bosses in Metal Gear 2 was literally the Arnold twins, and they were cyborgs.
I swear to God, every time I look back at the dialogue when Snake responds, he's always asking a question. Or he's just restating what somebody just told him as a question.
A question?
Question.
As somebody who
Second floor basement.
often needs to restate things to fully memorize what people tell me, I feel that.
So that's why you're
Yeah.
such a fan
Well-
of this series.
Yeah.
Like, if Nick was here, he'd probably be able to explain it better, but I think it's a thing in the Japanese language where, like, that's the thing they do is just repeat, like, the last thing you said. It's like a respect thing to let them know that you're, like, paying attention.
Have you guys ever watched the cutscenes for these games in Japanese?
Uh-oh.
No. Is the voice acting still just as good?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it sounds a little more natural because, like, overall the English dub of Metal Gear is like really good, I would say. But
Yeah.
some of the performances can be a little inconsistent. Obviously, if you watch it in Japanese, it's just generally more consistent overall. I'd say
Yeah.
my favorite little Easter egg, and Dan actually made me aware of this, but the guy who voices Solid Snake in Japanese is actually the son of the guy who voices Big Boss in Japanese, in
Oh.
MGS4 anyway. And the guy who voices Big Boss is also the Japanese voice of Dr. Eggman
Oh my
from the
gosh.
Sonic games, or at least he was. Unfortunately, he passed away.
Speaking
Hopefully
of
not from
passing
Fox
away.
Die, but yeah.
You mean a heart attack?
Oh, yeah. We talked about this. No spoilers. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
There was a fox inside him, and it made him die.
Yeah.
It's like a spiritual
live-
fox that gives you a heart attack.
Yeah.
It's like Naruto.
Yeah.
It was too late. He had eaten them all.
So yeah, like
suddenly liquid.
The DARPA chief, like a government leader, just like Snake goes there to rescue him, and he just dies in front of him for some weird reason. Snake's like,
Also, for you fans of Metal Gear Solid 3, the DARPA chief, this isn't really a spoiler so much as a bit of continuity, but the DARPA chief is the support team member from that game named Sigint.
yeah.
Like later in life, so that's a thing.
He loves weapons so much he became the president of weapons.
The president of weapons, yes. Yeah, honestly, making Sigint the DARPA chief is probably the least offensive thing that they did with the support team from that game in terms of continuity.
Like, honestly, he gets out, like, well, he gets the least worst fate of all of them.
Yeah, probably.
He's the least nefarious, despite his meddling in the stuff that Snake has to encounter in this game.
Meddling.
God damn.
I can't resist. I'm sorry.
If it's not Sora just bugging out, it's gonna be Snake just crouching everywhere he goes.
Well, this game already, like, the cutscenes are all, like, really nicely mocapped and shot and animated and everything. But as far as the in-game animations go, until Metal Gear Solid 4, they were kind of janky.
Yeah, they're very stiff.
Yeah, but like in an appealing sort of way where it's, I don't know. I just love the way Snake runs in like MGS3, especially when he's in like a silly costume. He just seems so like robotically determined.
Don't move.
I love how he goes upstairs because he has these like dainty little feet. He just like pitter patters upstairs. It's really funny.
Yeah, just like as fast as his little legs will carry him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is.
Don't move.
I like the idea that Snake like dropped into that cell to rendezvous with the chief, and he just didn't have any plan to get out unless somebody else opened the door for him.
All right,
so
Chief,
he'd just
you're
be
gonna have
stuck
to give me
in
a
there
boost
like,
back into the vent.
all right, well I guess I'm in prison now too. Probably should have thought this one through.
Liquid!
He's fooled me again.
I wonder if he was gonna try and get Donald Anderson or the DARPA chief, whatever his name is.
Just stand on his shoulders.
Yeah, like jump in that vent with me. It's great in there.
Well, obviously, in this version of the game, Snake would have no trouble getting out because he has Spider-Man powers.
Yeah.
So you can probably just bend the bars of the cell. Wait, no, there are no bars. Never mind.
Open that door.
I remembered the door wrong.
Hard, don't you?
You'd hear a sonic spring noise, and he would just like leap straight up into the vent.
Like a comically
Boing.
loud like slide whistle.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we go with a mandatory combat section.
This part's great. She gives you a cool gun though. Oh no, you don't get her the machine gun until after this, I don't think.
One of the big changes they made between MGS1 and the Twin Snakes in terms of gameplay is that in MGS1 you start out with your health bar at like a fifth of what it is now.
What an excellent use of a stun grenade.
And then
I know, I wasted it.
and then every time you you got Meryl too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
And then every time you defeat a boss, your health bar expands slightly. But in this one, they just give you the full health bar from the beginning, in keeping with the changes introduced in MGS2. Which
I don't know. I don't know if in hard mode if they do the whole health bar growing thing. So I'm not man enough for hard mode. I'm just not.
Yeah, the only MGS game I've even attempted on anything higher than normal is MGS3.
Oh yeah, you were doing European Extreme on that. Didn't you beat it?
Yeah, I did. I've kind of been on a Metal Gear binge for like the last month, particularly with 3, and I finally got around to try and Foxhound run on European Extreme, and after much save scumming and soft resetting, I managed to do it. Which, I mean, it takes some of the wind out of your sails, but like, hey, they allow 25 saves for a reason. You need every last one.
Yeah. So during this part, I got a little mad at Meryl because there was times that I just had a really great shot lined up, And she just stole my kills. I was like, Meryl, I had that one.
Come on,
jerk.
Come on, Trey. She's a rookie. Let her have this one.
Hey, she's no rookie. She's a seasoned vet. She's a 10-year vet.
Yeah. How old is she? I forget how old. Isn't she like 24 in this?
I don't know how old she's supposed to be in this.
This cutscene is amazing.
Oh my god. Okay, just for the audience's information, like the rapid zooming, that was Trey. That is not the cinematography of Twin Snakes is for once not at fault here.
Listen, you all know I have a thing for butts. I can't handle it. It's uncontrollable. I'm like Space Dandy.
Yeah, if there's one thing the Metal Gear games like to do, it's indulging your inner pervert in various ways. So yay.
Oh yeah. This is where we learn. This is where we see the faces of the evil squad for the first time. There's Scratch, Grounder, and Dr. Robotnik.
See, it isn't just MGS4 Snake that has memories that aren't his.
Yeah. Well, but like Mantis has psychic powers. Maybe he implanted this vision into Snake for plot convenience. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Mantis and Sorrow have been following Snake around ever since he met them. Mm-hmm. Just kind of chilling, messing with him.
What even is this?
Look at this advanced technique.
It's the Matrix.
Couldn't she just have shot at his feet and said, dance?
Well, no, because that would have been as awesome, I guess.
It looks so dumb with her just standing there, like, rotating the gun around. Like, what is that supposed to convey?
I think the word you're looking for, Dan, is incredible and not dumb. Because that is what Twin Snakes is. So I'm told.
Oh yeah, isn't he just using her as bait?
Meanwhile, Ganondorf is playing his organ up on the 5th floor or whatever.
First floor basement.
I would have loved it if they had a similar scene to Ocarina of Time when you finally get to Mantis's room. He's just like playing his song on an actual organ.
I'm pretty sure there is a small piano in that room.
Is there?
I guess we'll see, but he throws every piece of furniture in that room at you, so hopefully he doesn't destroy the piano.
Including the kitchen sink.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is where they teach you about him. Because what they didn't say is Naomi was a member of Foxhound, but then she's like, they're too evil, so she dropped out.
Yeah, this is where they teach you about Metal Gear and how it just has magical people in it.
Yeah. Yeah, Psycho Mantis won't be the last magical person. He's simply the first.
That's one of my favorite things about... Like, I'm typically not real big on, like, military-type shooter games or action games, I guess, but Metal Gear gets a pass for me just because of how, like, weird and just incomprehensible it gets. And how little explanation... You know, they'll spend, like, hours upon hours like explaining the concept of, like, nanomachines or how certain things work, but then they'll just be like, yeah, this guy's just has psychic powers, you know, as you do.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say, one of my guilty pleasures with Metal Gear writing is how Kojima uses, like, unnecessary, like, technical scientific mumbo-jumbo to explain universally understood things.
Yeah.
Like, Psycho Mantis is a psychic. So what does that mean? Well, he was doing something with their head. Think of it like a psychic feedback loop. All right.
Now I understand.
So he was using psychic powers to mess with my brain. Got it. Yeah, but I guess that's a dumber way to explain it.
I think for me the most hilarious example is just like all of like the rogues gallery of MGS3. Because that game is supposed to be set in, like, real history, and yet you just have, bosses who can, like, control bees and shoot lightning and all kinds of crazy crap.
There are similar types of strange people in this one, and we will encounter them. We may even encounter one of them next episode.
Oh!
Better tune in for that one, folks.
Yeah, bring your jeans and spurs. It's a rootin' tootin' good time.
Jeans?